Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Look at the Sichos Chelik Beis, Pashas Shlach, discussing about the Shiloh of the Meraglim, of why Moshe sent them. On one hand, Moshe sends them. On the other hand, Moshe davens for Yeshua. Why is Moshe davening just for the Yeshua? If he doesn't think they're safe, and it says, but it does say they thought they're safe, because it says that at the time when they started, they were kosher, they were good. So if they were good, l'chatchila, so what happened? And why is Moshe davening only for Yeshua and not for everyone else? If he doesn't trust them, why is he sending them? So it's very confusing, the whole situation. So we started talking about the ways of the Yetzer Hara. So really to understand this, you have to understand the Yetzer Hara. And then we talk about the Yetzer Hara that Hayom Elecha sekach, Macha sekach, Ad Shem Elecha Avar V'Edizara. Meaning, the Yetzer Hara doesn't come to you and just like whack you and say, hey, let's do Avodah Zarah, because you know it's not going to work. You get them slow. So next thing you know, you're doing Avodah Zarah, you don't even realize them. And that's what he's saying. And if that's in general with everything, how much more so when it gets to obviously so, which is like it says in the Yerushalmi, Amar Akiva after Klal Gadol Torah. That's a general principle in Torah. So even more so in the obviously so, we have to be very careful with these types of things. That weakening, like this ways of the Yetzer Hara, it expresses itself in obviously so. Gimel. B'geish obviously so, Mesupa b'Gemara. So now there's a famous story that the ger came in front of Shammai. First, so we all know about it. He came to Hillel. First, he came to Shammai, and he said to Beis Shammai. He said to Shammai. He said, "Lamdeni kol Torah kula al rega achas." He's going to Torah on one foot. So what did Shammai do? Shammai he pushed him with like his stick. Emes abinyan. We're going to discuss what that is, but he had like his stick, and he pushed him. Hillel, but then he goes to Hillel. What does Hillel tell him? Amar lo Hillel, Allah sanei l'chavecha lo yitavid. Vidach pushahu. Hillel says something very interesting. He said, remember, the ger is coming. He goes, I want you to teach me the whole Torah on one foot. So what does Hillel tell him? He goes, whatever you don't like to your friend, don't do. That's the whole Torah, and the rest is just commentary. That's a pretty intense statement. That's the whole Torah. Being the Hillel said this, it must be 100% true. So the Rebbe says, 1 second. If this is the truth, then why didn't Shammai say this to him? Why did Shammai kick him out? And Hillel says, yeah, it's simple. 1 foot, no problems. Whatever you don't like, don't do it to someone else. That's it. If that's it, then why doesn't Shammai say this? So clearly, there's more to it. Hello. Sha'avodas and Hagas Tzadikim Kayem Shtei Drachim Avodah. Connecting to what we said in last week's Sicha, the avodah of tzaddikim, there's 2 ways. There's 2 types of avodah, and this is sort of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. It's not just tzaddikim k'fi shehein la'atzmam, manhaga shekav ha'gevura, and there is the tzaddikim the way they are for themselves, how they act for themselves. Atzmam hanhaga shekav ha'gevura she'inyan halah. This is a level of gevura, which is sort of, in this case, it's being raised up, and they don't have gashmius in the olam. Gashmius and the world don't take up space. They don't think about it, don't consider it. Meaning we look at the world around us, and it's life, and we live in that life. Whereas a tzaddik doesn't look at the world in the same way. Like simple examples, the Rebbe, he came home once, and they had new launchers. So he sat in the chair for 15 minutes, and he goes, I was going up, I think they called dacha, which is like back in the day in the old country, they would it's like a summer vacation. So he's like, I was this, like it's not a lifestyle that we live. Tzaddikim, they don't have connection with Gashmis. Shekayim mitzvahs, Van Hagas Kava Gavur and Yana Lav Ein Lam Gashim Klum Kumavur Blukudateh. Explain Blukudateh. Shekium Mitzvah Shalahem Hu Baruchnis. Dugmat Rashbi Ace Yesa B'Mar. It's like the Rashbi by the cave. Their fulfillment of mitzvahs is all spiritual, meaning they don't really have a connection with the physicality. It's like they say about the Rebbe. They put a ton of salt and everything. Why? I don't know. I've never heard an answer for this. But he didn't connect with Gashus. Or it's like the Alter Rebbe, the famous story, and everyone was trying to season the food at Alter Rebbe and another tzaddik, I can't remember who it was. And so everyone put in salt. Everyone thought that no one else put on salt. So the Alter Rebbe came to eat it with his friend, the tzaddik, Zusha maybe, I don't remember. Anyway, so the guy was like, "Can you eat this? This is like way too salty." And Alter Rebbe is like, "I haven't tasted food in whatever." And tzaddikim, they live. That's how tzaddik is for himself. That he's totally above and beyond. He doesn't connect to this physical world. Looks at the world, doesn't look at it as like physicality. Looks at it as an opportunity for more Torah mitzvahs. Kleimar, meaning, this is not something for all of us. These are nice stories to hear about, but it's not something that really we can live by. This is the idea of a tzaddik, that he's here. Tzaddikim are here below as they are, but they didn't change. They're like they are above. In regards to the world doesn't take up any space. Like Rashbi says, like we said in like Bo'emer Secha that we learned, that it's possible. Rashbi came out of the cave and he said it's possible the person is going to plant and he's going to grow with the plants. He has to work on the field. With the Torah, what's going to be? You mean wait all day in the field? How are you going to learn Torah? He didn't understand how that happens. Why are you in the field? Why aren't you learning Torah? Because that was tzaddik la'atzmai. That's how tzaddik lives by himself. In his reality, there's no world. There's opportunities for mitzvahs. But dugma, Vagamar Masayemes, the Mar says, a lot of people try to do the Rashbi and not work and just learn all day, but it didn't work. That's a tzaddik for Latzma, a tzaddik for himself. These tzaddikim can do this, but we're not on that level, so we can't live this lifestyle that we don't mechash the world. The world doesn't take up space, doesn't mean anything to us. Beis Shammai, and that's Beis Shammai. And this is answering that question. This is exactly Beis Shammai. Shammai in his school, they were Gvura. Shammai was also always known as Gvura, and that's what he was. Shammai milasha in Hashem. Hashem oichaisav. Hashem is his way. Haracha chanema ukudetera. Like it says in the Kudetera, that he was Hashem was his way, meaning it was all Gvura, it was all connected to Hashem. La'atzmam, to themselves, for yourself, this is a good way. That works for himself, but for the world at large, that's not a lifestyle to live. And that's why generally the halacha is not like Beis Shammai, because meaning Beis Shammai is living. It's like some people say Beis Shammai is a potential versus Beis Hillel is actual. Beis Shammai is in reality that it's not shaykh to us. Yes, I can even more than this. Beis Shammai, but Malkin Beis Hillel ain't mishana. Basically, we go according to Beis Shammai. I mean Beis Hillel. In the counts of Beis Shammai's Hillel, Beis Shammai doesn't in a Mishnah. The Mishnah is not according to Beis Shammai. It's Beis Hillel. So lachein, and therefore, kesheba hager l'Shammai ubiki shamdei kol Torah kula al regachas. And therefore, when the ger comes to Beis Shammai and says, "Hey, teach me the whole Torah in 1 foot," what does Beis Shammai do? V'chinas an hagas shel Shammai bekava gevura lehaya makim lekach. Beis Shammai is living this. He doesn't live in the world. He's not living in this reality. He's living somewhere else. So a ger comes and is asking about what are you talking about? And pushed him with his the literally emes abin is like the foundational stick. Emes abin, if you wish, a midah, it means a measure with like a measuring stick. Mishum hamadida v'hagbala shel binyan Shammai, because of Shammai's limitedness, the way he was so to speak square. He pushed him away. According to Shammai, he's living in a world in a different reality. You're asking how you can turn on 1 foot, like, yeah, I'm in a different world. So he pushed him away. Not like get out of here. He's like, we don't talk the same language. It's like I'm talking about Atzilus and you're talking about pizza. It's like doesn't work. So Shammai's like, I don't know how to talk to you. Hillel. Now, what's Hillel? Shinyanai Bahala Lanaris. Lanaris. Chesed. Bamshacha. Mitzad Makim Gam Avuroi. V'nema b'mtzaus Avos Yisrael Zeichim l'chol Kulam. Whereas Hillel was a person of chesed and amshacha and drawing down. So therefore, Hillel was the guy that lived in the world, and base Hillel was a lifestyle of in the world. So therefore, because of that's where he came from, and that's his style. So he had space, and that's why he said to him, "The obvious Yisrael, you have merit everything." Meaning like this: you have Beis Shammai. He's Gvura, he's Halal going up. He's living in a world. His head is above. So therefore, a guy comes and says, how do I be Megai with 1 foot? He's like, I don't understand. You're like, we live in different realities. So it doesn't mean Amos doesn't mean he just pushed him away. He's saying that like he realized that we don't talk the same languages. I can't help you. I can't speak to you. We talk different languages. Hillel was the opposite. Was about Hamshacha, drawing down, bringing down into the world, and that's why. The Ger is exactly that's his bread and butter. Yeah, he can do with this. This is what he's living. He's about being in the world and bringing out godliness into the world. And therefore he was able to say, yeah, have obviously strong. Daled. It talks about the Zayah, there's 3 tzaddikim, they lived in a generation that wasn't Hagun, wasn't good. Noach, Avram, Moshe. These generations all had problems. But there's a Noach, B'shas Mabul. He's followed Noach Rak Avuroi, Ba'adoi Va'ad Beising. With Noach, he lived in the generation of the flood. That was a very bad time. So what did he do? He davened for himself and for his family. Ilu, his generation, the people around him, Kulam, he didn't even think about them. Only when they came and asked him, say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you building this huge boat? He revealed to them Hashem is making a mabul. Why build this boat? Oh, yeah, by the way, if you don't do tshuva, you're all going to die. He didn't go to them. Discusses this in a very harsh way, meaning it wasn't very nice of him, as there is sort of bringing out. So that is a Noach. Abraham will do Abraham, and tomorrow we'll do Moshe. Abraham Malay Himtin Adshi Avoy Love Elav Ikar Shem Sham B'Shem Avaya Kel Elam. Abraham was very different. Abraham went out and he went to make them call out Hashem's name. He went to everyone and he spread godliness to everyone. He said, hey, there's an Eibishter, there's a God, and he wants you to do mitzvahs and he wants you to do good things and be a mensch. The immersion, nevertheless, is bad to have midas vasiyas tzaddikim. But what's the lacking in it was that he was only really looking for tzaddikim. Ilu avur elish eim tzaddikim leisbal, but it wasn't tzaddikim he didn't daven for. Like the famous story, b'shaz gzera Sodom, the time of the gzera of Sodom, the Sodom was going to get destroyed because of being very not good. What did Avram say? He davened. What did he say when he davened? He said, "Ulai yesh ugeim tzaddikim b'seichim." Maybe there's a tzaddikim in the city. I mean, if there's no tzaddikim, yeah, you can destroy him, no problems. But maybe there's a tzaddik, and if there's a tzaddik, so take care of the tzaddik. When he got answered by Hashem, told him, hey, there's not even 10 tzaddikim. So what Avram do? So Avram Shalom, he left. Okay, whatever. Good luck with that. And he walked off. So even Avram, which was better than Noach, didn't dump anyone besides himself. And only when people came and asked him, he helped. He didn't even help, he just told them. Avram, he went and helped, but who was he helping? The good people. It's like to use a bad example, you go into school, and and there's the good kids. So the teacher gives all the attention to the good kids. These are good kids that have potential. Kids that have potential, whatever, it's not my problem. And he didn't listen to anything. Finished. And now tomorrow we have to go, but tomorrow we're going to discuss Moshe. And what did Moshe do? Moshe went even to the people that weren't even good. Moshe done for them. Moshe gave himself all up. And this is going to help us understand the whole Achan of Thomas thing about what is the Rebbe about, and what's our job connecting to the Rebbe, and to fulfill the mission the Rebbe imparted on us. The Rebbe gave us the ability to become a miniature Rebbe. So Mr. Hashem, all of us should have this. All starts with Ahavas Yisrael and recognizing, like Hillel, that the whole Torah is essentially V'ahavta l'recha kamecha, and the rest is just a commentary on this. So if you want to know you're doing Torah good, it's not just if you're learning and you're davening, but how's your Ahavas Yisrael? How is your care for people? Are we judgmental? And Ahavas Yisrael also applies to ourselves. Are we very judgmental on ourselves, very harsh on ourselves, or very kind and caring for ourselves, just like we do for everyone else? To be continued. Have an amazing day.